year and 3 years down the road of after high school that they're still working there, that they're still thinking about going to college, they're still thinking of getting a better job, they're still thinking of getting into a career at somewhere else. Just go straight into, you don't know what you want to do after high school, honestly, just do a warehouse job, dude. I shouldn't say it's like just straight up do it, but like maybe join the trades if you're a very hands on person. Like,
Let's get started.
what is up, guys? This is the final series for this segment we're doing right now. For this one, we are gonna talk about either you going to college after high school or you just working after high school, figuring things out, or just going straight into career. After high school is it's whole different, bro. It's a whole different. I don't think that's even a word. It is so different, dude. Like you have when you're 18 years old and you're out of high school. Some people are 17, but most of the time you're 18. When you're 18 years old and you're out of high school, dude, it's different. It's like, whoa, like I'm an adult. It's the best feeling ever. It's like I don't have to go back there. I'm not a junior anymore. I'm not a senior anymore. I did my senior year already. You know what I mean? Like you're like, I did that. I got that diploma. Or if you didn't, that's okay sometimes too. You just the best thing you can do is figure things out. If college is not the move for you, then go straight into a career. I'm just saying that is the best option in my opinion. That you see like me personally, I went to a warehouse job right after high school, and do sometimes I regret it. Sometimes I wish that maybe I chose that other position at a different warehouse, or I kind of spread out my opportunities just because I was only 18 years old when I decided to pick where I work now. But at the same time, though, it's kind of like I'm still grateful though that now I got a pension. Now I'm set. Now it's like, oh, okay, like I'm getting somewhere with this company, you know? Um, Sorry, I'm a little sick right now, but yeah. So, but some people do, though. If you go to college, in my opinion, don't go just for the fun of it, okay? Like, actually figure out what you want to do there, okay? And I know some people that pay off college themselves. I know some people that they pay and then their parents pay. I know some people that have their parents pay. I know some people that got on a scholarship and they worked for it and stuff like that. You know, most likely you're not going to go to your dream college that you did. I know a lot of times too that people that grinded up in high school, wanted the good grades, this and that, they go out to college and they go bonkers. They drop out their first year of college. They flunk out because they studied so hard in high school and they never had that life. Dude, the point of high school is just for you to figure things out, dude. I mean, that's the point in life in general, you know, to figure things out. Later on, as I got older, I figure out that I rather work to live than live to work, if that makes sense. You know, I'll admit it. I used to be about the money sometimes. I used to just want to keep on working because my checks weren't good enough and stuff like that. Now it just kind of opened up my eyes that kind of steady where I am now. You know, you know, some things can get worse. You know, there can be obstacles in the way sometimes of things, but at the same time, I feel grateful on where I'm at sometimes. But yeah, so yeah, after high school, it's a different feeling. If I was you, your senior year, definitely try to figure something out. Like if college isn't for you, think about maybe being a semi driver. Think about something that you like to do. If that makes sense. Like oh shoot, like if you're a girl or whatever, you love to do nails and stuff like that. Maybe try to be a nail technician. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I don't know what it's called. Do something with nails though. If you're a guy and you like to drive, maybe be a taxi cab driver. I somewhere that gets you somewhere. That makes sense. Or a job that gets you somewhere in life. If you're own college that route, you know, figure it out, dude. Like, figure out what major you want to go in. You know, you don't want to keep spending that money that you don't have to. And I know some people's parents like pay for it, but as soon as you get older and you realize that money ain't everywhere in your hands and stuff like that, dude, it's yeah. So, but yeah, figure out if you got that scholarship, dude. Keep that scholarship up. You know, you worked for it in school, in high school, or just in general in your whole life. Um, yeah. So, and a lot of times too, if you get scholarships somewhere, most of the time you don't go pro for that sport, but still, it's kind of cool that you got on it. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be sports too. I know people that got scholarships because of their knowledge or whatever, or because of he. I think people even get it when they're in orchestra and band. So like, there is a lot of opportunities out there. Like I said, figure out the major you want to be in. If you're into science in high school and you're planning on going to college, do something with a science degree, something that you like yeah. So I know why I said though is like don't take a gap year is because I know a lot of people that took gap years at my high school job that I had. It was at a fast food place. I said it before. It's Dairy Queen. I'm just gonna say it. It's Dairy Queen. I know a lot of people that took a gap year and 3 years down the road of after high school that they're still working there. That they're still thinking about going to college. They're still thinking of getting a better job. They're still thinking of getting into a career at somewhere else. Just go straight into you don't know what you want to do after high school, honestly, just do a warehouse job, dude. I shouldn't say is like just straight up do it, but like maybe join the trades if you're a very hands on person like I am. Like you gotta do something that you enjoy. Okay, like if you're really good at math, maybe try to be an accountant. I could never sit there for days on days, sitting in the office, but still, um, again, I think high school pushes college so much on people that we don't talk about getting into careers that doesn't relate to school enough. Um, Social media influencers. I know nowadays a lot of people want to be them. I wouldn't. I said this before. I wouldn't mind making some money off of social media. It would probably be nice, but it is very hard to do and stuff like that. You also don't want to sell your soul. Um, it's being a social media influencer is not easy. Um, I feel like a lot of people think it is, but truthfully, no, it's not. You kind of you kind of need to grow an audience. You need to actually grind. You need to come up with new ideas. I said this before on an episode. Like you just again, you need to keep people entertained. And also sponsorships too. You need to keep sponsors. You need to be careful on what you say and how you dress and doing certain things. Like it's not as easy as it makes it look. It may look fun, but you also got to realize how much camera time that you're spending and all that. Like you're not spending real life. Besides the point, okay, I'm not. I gotta stop. Okay. Besides the point though, after high school, figure it out. Now we're gonna talk about me real fast. After high school, I or no, I'm sorry, in school, I wanted to be a firefighter, right? So I think it rolled around. When did I want to be that? Like middle school, maybe. So I kind of thought about being a firefighter in my freshman and sophomore year, and roll around junior year, right? I slacked off, dude. I was chilling up on my phone a lot. I was goofing off in class a lot. Oh, my sophomore year too. Just constantly talking to people, showing up late to class, like roll around my senior year, I think that's the year I straight up told my parents, like, I don't want to go to college. My dad said, okay, well, get into a career. My mom said, okay, well, you got to pay rent. And I said, okay to both. Um, my dad suggested being a mailman, so I kind of had that idea in my head for a while. That's actually a kind of thing that maybe I kind of debate on I should have done, but at the same time though, it's kind of like some of mailmen have to walk, and I don't feel like walking to every mailbox in the cold. I live in the Midwest, guys. So there was that, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. at first. Well, no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. Why am I saying that? My head's everywhere right now. So after high school rolls around, right? COVID happened. I graduated in 2020. My buddy applied to UPS because he had a friend there. And he was like, dude, apply. They got good benefits, yada, yada, yada. So I applied to UPS. Didn't realize on what kind of shift I was working, but I got it. It was, what time was it? It was like 1 a.m. to like 9 a.m. or 8:30 or 8 a.m. or whatever. So it was basically like a full-time gig, right? I was hitting out maybe 40 hours, maybe almost 40 hours. Roll around Christmas time, okay? Again, this is after high school. Um, again, I came also from COVID time, so you got to think the pandemic hit on March 13th, right? Next thing you know, I started picking up shifts at Dairy Queen. That was my high school job. I started working there, waiting on my high school diploma. As soon as I got it, I applied to UPS. So again, I when I started, I got full time hours. And next thing you know, it was Christmas time, right? After high school, life goes by fast. So it's Christmas time. And then I found out that you can double shift. You can go help the drivers deliver and stuff like that. And I heard in my mind from a lot of drivers that being a driver is the best thing you can do. That is the best position. I heard it through from other people too. Some people on my shift said no, it's not. There's other opportunities, yada yada yada. Again, I came from it where I I'm gonna say it. I know a lot of people where I come from is where it's live to work and not work to live. And at this time, I lived to work. So I was like, dang, I want to be a driver so bad. So next thing you know, I'm working all these hours, yada yada yada. I'm working like 90 hours a week, dude. Next month rolls around January, our hours get cut. I'm sorry, I'm only working 5 days, right? And I'm like, dude, what happened to my money? Like, what the heck is this? Like, this is back when I was only making 14 an hour too. And this is before I really, really gave it up to God. You know, again, I tell a lot of people this that I always prayed every single night because I did, but still I wasn't really trusting in the Lord. I was more of where's my money kind of thing. I had money on my mind. And again, as I said it before, money is the least talked about sin. So I I got the job. Wait, where am I getting at? Okay. Sorry, I got again my mind's everywhere right now. So again, my hours got cut and I was like, "Yo, where's my money basically?" And then it turns out that I wasn't even 2 years in yet. So somebody told me they're like, hey, why don't you ask this supervisor if he can work Mondays? And I was like, I thought Mondays is like seniority people because only like 12 people worked on Monday. I was Tuesday through Saturday. When I first started, it was just Monday through Friday completely. So they were like, dude, if you work 6 days, you get you get I think it's half time and a half or something like that. So then instead of making 14 an hour, I'm making I think it was like $20 something or some maybe lower than that. But besides the point though, why don't you ask? So then I asked. So then I started working like 6 days a week, and that did help out my check. And I, looking back on it, I am very grateful of how much low seniority that I was, and the fact that I even got the opportunity to work 6 days a week, and all that. So I and then next thing you know, the supervisor that was in charge of Monday saw that I always came in, that I wanted to work. So he kept on asking me I wanted to work, and he helped me out, and I'm very grateful for that. So he helped me out, and next thing you know, I'm working 6 days a week, right? Helping out my check and stuff like that. I still had that vision of me being a driver because again, I was addicted to the money. So next thing you know, though, roll around summertime, I found out that you can do this thing called double shifting, and the local store. Wait, was that turning 20 or was that 21? I'm pretty sure I was turning 20. So roll around summertime or whatever. I found out that you can double shift. And I was like, no way, dude. So there was this like second sort and stuff like that. So I basically signed up for it. I went up to the supervisor that was in the office and management in the office, and I was like, "Yo, is it cool if I come in or whatever? And if you guys need me." And next thing you know, he put down my number, and next thing you know, he called me like every Monday and stuff like that. He got fired for other reasons. Ever since he got fired, they never called me since then. But still, besides the point though, is that I was so addicted to the money, dude. I was so like, I want more, more of it. Around that time, like I wasn't really. I think I did start going to church every Sunday around that time, but still, I wasn't really trusting in the Lord. I was, instead of doing church groups, I was choosing work. Instead of hanging out with friends, I was choosing work. And again, the more I went into my church groups, the more they talked about being addicted to money. There was one segment in my young adults that was Jesus over money, and that woke me up. And the question is, I'm still praying about it that I am gonna stay at UPS, yes, but at the same time, no matter where you're in life, you're still gonna struggle. You know what I mean? Like I am very grateful on the hours that I get. I am very grateful that I'm living where I'm live and my living situation is not a struggle right now. But at the same time, I do want kids in the future. So how am I gonna provide for my future spouse and my future kids? I do struggle. I do think about that a lot. And I am trying to figure it all out. But it's all in God's timing. I'm praying about it. So don't forget to pray about the situation that you're in. Okay? Especially if you're in school right now, high school and something, pray about what you ask God, what should I do here? Should I take the college route? Should I not? What career should I go in? And he'll give you the answer, dude, without you even knowing it. Um, you know, I wanted to be a driver so bad, and I'll admit it. This sounds embarrassing. I don't tell a lot of people this. That's it's on my mind a lot. I kept on getting DQ'd for being a driver. At one point, I failed. 1 year, I failed the class to be a driver. The next year, I wasn't going fast enough to for my route or whatever. And then the next year, I my mirror hit an electric pole and the mirror cracked. Nothing, and they kind of has a crash, which it was. And then it woke me up though, and it kind of made me realize is like the struggles of being a driver. Do I really want to deal with that for 25 years, or should I do something that I am good at and something that I can still have a social life and I can still spend time with family and I can still maybe provide if needed, and hopefully I can pick up shifts here and there and still make enough to provide for a family. I'm hoping that's the case and I'm praying about it. But again, you never at 18 years old you are not gonna have that dream job that you always wanted. You're not gonna know what you need to do in life. In life, I think in general, you never know. That's why you need to give it up to Jesus. That's why you need to trust in Him, bro. You need to trust in the Lord. Because if you don't, dude, you're a mess. That's all I gotta say. But thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys like this one. Next week, you gotta wait and see what's next week. But I'll see you guys next Wednesday.